For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Within the next few hours, a political organization will undertake a particular venture. Whether it will be successful or not in terms of the numbers, we just have to wait and see because it is happening within the next few hours, as I said before, and that is at 4:30 this afternoon. As we welcome you to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be taking your calls later at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages at 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Kimani will not be on set this afternoon to go through your comments. I will be doing that. That's because also I have a studio guest. Okay, somebody will be coming in, and I'll be speaking with that individual momentarily. In the meantime, there are suggestions that the Chastanets, they still have shares in Massey Stores, St. Lucia. And I'm told that up to today, that claim was made. And on the line, we have a member of that clan, and that is former Prime Minister, Mr. Alan Chastanet. And hope I could quiz him and he could clarify this. So I think he's on the line already. As we say, good afternoon to you, Mr. Alan Chastanet.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. Chastanet, leader of the opposition. I am told that earlier today, and it has been said even before, prior to that, that your family still have shares in Massey Stores. I thought that when the company was sold to Massey Stores, that your family decided against having any kind of ownership in that company. What say you, sir?
So let me just say outright that that's not true. My father sold his shares years ago. The company is now owned in the majority by Massey from Trinidad, by JQ Charles here in St. Lucia, and by the staff. I'm very proud of the fact that my father and Andre Chastanet saw it fit to give over 100,000 shares to the workers of Massey. So I want to say that categorically, we do not have any shares, and that is the current share. And I believe that you can go down to the registry, and there's a very simple deed that's there at the registry, which would confirm what I'm saying. But I want to say that just last night, show when I had the opportunity of being on your show, we spoke about the mistruths, the lies. And this is, again, a classic example that instead of the Labour Party owning up to the problems that we have with inflation in the country and how they're handling it, they continuously want to lay blame at the doorsteps of every single person. Now, suggesting that my family has shares in it is a malicious attempt to try to convince people in St. Lucia that I'm in politics to take advantage of people. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. Everything that comes out of Richard Federick's mouth and many of the Labour Party supporters is to try to create that narrative that Alan Chastanet is here to help himself. And again, here it is by promoting a falsehood, a lie, in order to create that emotional feeling within people, to convince them that that's the case. It is the Labour Party that did not see it fit to lower the duties when the price of goods were going up internationally, because they're 100% right. There's nothing that we can do as a country to prevent prices from going up internationally. But what we can do is minimize the impact of those increased prices on solutions by allowing the duty prices to remain the same, and also now by introducing a 2.5% tax levy. You're making the situation even worse. And as we spoke about last night, Tim, the situation is made worse because this government has not put any social net programs in place. There's no feeding programs. There's no food handouts. There's no attempt to subsidize the price of electricity in St. Lucia. Instead, what they're doing is increasing taxes and then trying to find other people to blame for the fallout of what's taking place in this country. So I really want to thank you for the opportunity to clarify this on two counts. One, that my family have no longer and have not been for many years shareholders in Massey. But secondly, that to now expose this Labour Party, and particularly Richard Federick, for their continual attempt to malign me and my family and what we are here for. And I'm in politics to help the people of St. Lucia. I don't need to help myself. I already have been blessed in my life, but I want to share those blessings with all St. Lucians. And I want all St. Lucians to enjoy the same things I have in life. And we need a strong country. We need strong leadership to achieve those things. So I thank you very much, Tim.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us. The leader of the opposition, Mr. Alan Chastanet, also the MP for Micoud South. My guest is in studio, and I'll be turning my attention to him in just a moment. And that guest, of course, is the Public Relations Officer of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Leonard Spider Montoute. Good afternoon to you, sir, and welcome to the broadcast.
Good afternoon, Tim, and good afternoon to your listeners.
I think it's several years now you have not made an appearance on the most monitored talk show in the world, NewsSpin.
Well, I only do when I get an invitation, Tim.
Okay, that's true, that's true. You know what, I'm saying something about you. You've gotten so sharp over the last 2 years or so. I mean, in fact, not got so sharp. You've gotten sharper. Does that have anything to do with your rest and you're at ease? Don't have to go to cabinet meetings, don't have to go to your ministry to preside over four portfolios?
Tim, let me say this to you. It's a blessing, an honor, and a privilege to have gotten the opportunity to serve. And I did what I could to have remained in office. I'm not saying to you that I did not want to win, but having failed to be re-elected, it's almost as if it brought with it a freedom, a load off my shoulder. And, you know, I think I feel a sense of lightness, so to speak, and I can be myself. Let's just put it this way.
But I still get the impression that somehow you would be lured into contesting the next general election?
It will take a lot for this to happen. It will take a lot.
What is that a lot?
Well, I mean, I think, if I may say so myself, I think I've made my contribution. I've been in the politics for quite a long time, over 20 years. I've contested 5 elections. I think, it is time to make way for someone else. But having said so, if I'm called upon in a situation of crisis where my community, my country desperately needs my input, my involvement, my assistance, then of course you can hardly turn down a request of that nature. But I don't see that happening, Tim, and it must be very compelling for me to find myself back in elective politics.
We're just a few hours from a march. That's 4:30 this afternoon. Why a march at the behest of the United Workers' Party and not something that is spontaneous, that is being led by the people?
Well, especially in recent times, St. Lucians do not have a history of protest. St. Lucians are very passive. St. Lucians, are not the kind of people who spontaneously, as you said, take a stand. However, we complain, and we are affected by issues and so on. And I think, generally speaking, even when you talk about people being spontaneous, there's always a need for leadership in everything. The leadership will not come from civil society, Tim. We have seen the trend with civil society, albeit that they are very active when the Labour Party is in opposition. And that causes me to think that most of our civil society organizations are more political than I am. And so we, as an opposition, have a responsibility. Let us not forget that while we hold just 2 seats in the House, we represent thousands of St. Lucians. And as such, we have a responsibility to stand up for St. Lucians. We have a responsibility to hold the government accountable, and we have a responsibility to pay attention to the direction that the country is going. So if it requires that the opposition galvanize the concerns of our people to lead them, to be able to speak out against what is going on, so be it. That is not more than what the opposition should do. As a matter of fact, I believe it is part of their responsibility.
So are you saying that somehow the United Workers' Party has not been able to inculcate or generate this kind of cordial relationship, build this cordial relationship with civil society?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Labour Party has been able to infiltrate our civil society organizations at most levels, and as a result, play their politics from within them.
In terms of this afternoon's march, we have a tendency that if it is organized by the UWP, the turnout will consist of mainly supporters of that party. If it is the SLP, the same. Well,
we are hoping that this will be an exception, because this match, as I said, is not a UWP, it's not a Flabo match, it is a national match. A match that concerns and touches on national issues of national concern to every citizen who is affected by those issues. And when I outline, because I intend to, during your program, to outline the many issues that are affecting St. Lucians, that St. Lucians have legitimate reasons to march and protest against, you will understand that it is not just a Flabo thing, because yes, I am Flabo, but I do not know that I pay more at the supermarket than you do. And so everyone is affected by some of the policies of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Everyone is affected by some of the actions of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And so everyone should take a stand against the things that they perceive to be, against what democratic principles are, the things that affect them and make their lives worse, contrary to what was promised by the St. Lucia Labour Party.
If those things that you're about to itemize are having a negative impact on the people of St. Lucia, therefore, why the docility on their part? Why they are not acting up?
Well, again, I say historically we do not have a history of protest in St. Lucia. We do not have a history of standing up, and that I say historically. That goes back way into our history. Even our education system teaches us not to stand up. I mean, your parents teach you not to take a stand, because the first thing that they will say to you is shut up and listen. In school, you hear the same thing. We were programmed that way. It is part of our nurturing, and as such, we have to break free from this because a healthy, effective democracy requires that the people actively participate in what's going on and take a stand when they are not satisfied with what's going on.
What are the issues you think that have prompted the United Workers' Party to undertake this venture?
Well, you will admit that we gave the St. Lucia Labour Party ample time. They had an extended honeymoon, something the United Workers' Party never enjoys when we're in office. It is now midterm, halfway through the term. So their policies should be clear, their direction should be clear, and we should start seeing the fruits of their actions and the things that they intend to do for St. Lucians. What we are seeing instead is a number of things that they never disclosed or divulged to the public during the campaign. For example, that part of their policy would be increasing taxes. They never disclosed that. Some of the things that they advocated against, they are actually practicing now. They spoke so highly and vociferously about our patrimony, for example. How we don't want to sell out our patrimony to foreigners and so on. But where is our ports today? Where are our ports today? Soufrière and Castries, in the hands of foreigners. Two of the main assets of this country have been given away for the next 40 years. I mean, we are going to march because there are so many salient concerns. For example, the high cost of living. Yes, the first thing a Labour Party spokesman would call and say today to you is that, echoing the Prime Minister, it was important. Well, to a certain extent, we do not control the prices of goods. But we can do something about the prices of goods because it is our government who imposes the taxes and levies, the duties. It is our government who has added on top of the high cost of items in this country a 2.5% levy at a time like this. When you look at the condition of our roads, it is the responsibility of the government, who is, by the way, still collecting the $1.50 that they criticize. They are still collecting it. And it is earmarked and dedicated for the purpose of maintaining our roads. So what is happening with this? We are in a situation where our healthcare, we have no plan, we have no direction from the government. See what is happening with St. Jude's, rather than continue at a lower cost, at a faster rate, the completion of the state-of-the-art built-for-purpose hospital in Viewfort. They have decided to go to an 80-year-old building, spend more money, spend more time, rather than simply complete the one that is, about 80% complete. These are all reasons why we have to march. We have to march, again, because crime in this country. Now, do not tell me that the government is not responsible for crime. I know they're not. But it is their responsibility to address crime.
But some people tell you that the people spoke in July of 2021.
Well,
and people have been saying that on the program, that the people spoke, and by that overwhelming mandate that they give to the St. Lucia Labour Party administration, it is to act on behalf of the people. So if they impose a 2.5% levy, it's on behalf of the people. If it is a situation where they're leasing the port to GPH, they're doing it on behalf of the people. They have a mandate.
Well, you see, the fact that they have a mandate, you have to ask yourself, what did we give them the mandate for? And if they take the mandate to, do things that are detrimental to us or detrimental to the country, especially long term, do we sit idly by and accept it? First of all, on what premise did they get the mandate? Did they ever tell us that they were going to increase taxes? Would some people who will be marching today, would they have voted for the Labour Party knowing that that's what they would do? I mean, they promised that they would curb crime, they promised they would fix the roads, they promised they would do all of those things, and they're not doing it. We must just sit idly by, pay them a salary for them to just make our lives poorer than it has been. I mean, we are dependent on our government for our quality of life. And if our quality of life is diminishing under the government, and because of the direction in which the government is going, we have a right to say something about it, to stand up and say that is not what you promised, that is not where we want to go, that is not the direction that you should take the country.
Should we therefore have a mechanism where people can have a greater say during the reign of a government and not wait for 5 years after it has taken office to have that say at the polls? Because we don't have a process whereby people can speak and agitate and have power of recall so that governments can listen to the people.
Built into a democracy is the right to protest. And that is what we are exercising. Built into a democracy is the institution called the media, who will highlight, report on, and let it be known what is happening. And of course, we have seen an erosion of that pillar of our democracy, deliberately, calculatedly done by the government, because they used the same media to achieve their goal of getting into office. And now they have usurped the expertise, the resources in the media to continue to do their bidding by employing most of the members of the media as part of government mouthpiece. And so you have a media that is diminished. And as a result, consequently, a democracy that has been diminished.
What are the implications of this long term?
Far-reaching implications, because when you see these are part of constitute some of the checks and balances of our system. When a government can be in office and think that they have all powers unto themselves, no checks and balances, nobody to hold them accountable, then that can become very dangerous, as we are beginning to see with this government. Because this government now is even taking umbrage to people criticizing or complaining. So many of the government ministers, Emma Hippolyte, Richard Frederick, Stephenson King, the Prime Minister himself, attack people for daring to complain or criticize the government. That is not democratic. And so we have to be very careful when we see those signs that we do not allow it to grow. Because when things like that fester, eventually to stop it might take a full-blown revolution.
But you don't think all is not lost because the opposition is getting permission to have its march this afternoon?
Well, let me tell you, I don't give praises for rights, It is our right to march. And of course, we operate within a system where there are rules and regulations, and we follow the rules and regulations, but don't expect me to come here singing praises because we were given permission. It is our right.
What form will the march take today?
Peaceful, first of all, and we are asking all the participants of the march to be peaceful and respectful. We do not want any outrageous placards or statements being made on our march. We do not want vulgarity that goes beyond, the bam bam wall. We don't want vulgarity or obscenity. We do not want anyone to be abusive unnecessarily to anybody. We want people to make their point, make your statement, but do it in a respectful and peaceful manner.
What do you think will really come out of this? Because the Prime Minister, political leader of the SLP and others will just say, well, we had a couple people there, troublemakers, supporters of the United Workers' Party, and they may not act on the presence of the individuals there, and to see this as a manifestation of people's displeasure with regard to their performance.
Timothy, the opposition can speak till they're blue in the face, and the government can dismiss them. But when they see numbers, they know what that means. Okay? Politics is about numbers. And if St. Lucians are serious and they come out there today and make a statement, the government must take it.
What are you expecting in terms of the turnout? Because for example, if the turnout is not impressive, critics will deem it to be a failure.
Well, I mean, I do not know how to determine whether it's a success or failure. I would like to see a couple thousand people come out to show their displeasure with what is going on. I think is in our interest. And when I say our, I'm talking about citizens of St. Lucia. It is in our country's interest to do so. And it is in the interest of protecting the democracy as we know it. Because I'm already seeing signs that there's an attack on democracy as we know it. And so it is important that we take those stands. Now, to simply come and march does not ask for much to prevent what might lead to outright civil war in this country. Because what I'm seeing happening now can eventually, incrementally graduate to the point where to reverse the trend, it may take a more. It's like you're raising a child, Tim, and you allow the child to behave badly and you do not stop that child by even a little tap on the wrist. Eventually you might have to break his arm to stop him later on. And so that's what I'm saying. Let's not let it fester and let those, because already we're seeing signs that the government, in their arrogance and pomposity, are pretending and behaving as if they are a power unto themselves and no one can speak to them. And we, they do not care about our concerns. And so we have to let them know, no, you work for us, you are at our service, and that you have to answer to us.
Is it only natural that people behave that way when they have excessive power at their disposal? And maybe the United Workers' Party would have behaved the same way with a 15-2 mandate.
No, I don't think so. But I mean, it is human nature to become arrogant and with power. I mean, I always say, you give an ordinary man a little turn at the bar, function, and you see how he behaves because he has power. You put a uniform on an individual and you see, but it's a natural tendency, but it has to be controlled, it has to be curbed. We cannot allow it, to flourish. I mean, we have to let people know that, keep your ego and your arrogance in check. You're not a power unto yourself, you're a servant.
You are watching and listening to NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. When we come back, we continue the conversation and we'll be taking your calls as well.
Find me where they find tonight, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Hey! Your one-stop shop, lottery, VLTs and bingo. Come for the games, stay for the food, drinks and more. Celebrate with me, we feeling lucky. Blast with victory. Find me where they find tonight, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Yeah, we playing blast.
Must be 18 or over to play. Only from the St. Lucia National Lottery. Changing lives.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Register today to set up Lucelect My Account by going to www.myaccount.lucelect.com on any device. Follow the steps to register and pay your electricity bills directly to Lucelect online and get back to your life. For now, this service is available to customers with domestic accounts only.
Celebrate the season with KFC's Christmas Festive Feast. Feast on our festive bucket. 6 pieces of chicken, 2 small mashed potatoes, 2 corns, 2 sodas, all for just $45. Or grab the festive box. 5 dipping wings, a sandwich, fries, a biscuit, and a soda, only $28. Make your holidays special with KFC's Festive Feast. Available at all KFC locations and for delivery. WhatsApp us at 484-0400 or visit our website, kfcslu.com for more information. This is a limited time offer. Happy holidays from the management and staff of KFC.
You asked for it, and it's back. The National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited announces the return of its Merry Till February Christmas loan promotion. Get up to $30,000 with absolutely no deposit and up to 5 years to repay. It's Merry Till February with the Farmers Credit Union. Call 454-6710 in V4 or 452-7277 in Castries to book an appointment with one of our loans officers today. Terms and conditions apply.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, Lockley DeCoste doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Lockley DeCoste specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Lockley DeCoste specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy because Lockley DeCoste doctor specialist provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Ducor. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Ducor, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
Tis the season for new internet, a laptop, and some extra cash. This Christmas is on us. Sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co. Terms and conditions apply. Valid while stocks last.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadhu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
With your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and I'll be going through some of your comments in the chat room. I have as my guest the Public Relations Officer of the Opposition United Workers' Party, Mr. Leonard Spider Motut. At the commencement of our broadcast this afternoon, we heard from the leader of the opposition, Mr. Alan Chastanet, and dispelling any suggestion that his family still has shares in Massey Stores, St. Lucia. Is that something, Mr. Motu, that you can address as well?
Yes, and again, this further accentuates and highlights the MO of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and in particular Richard Frederick. Tell lies, nobody debunks it, and so it goes down as fact. And the idea here is to suggest that the high cost of goods at the supermarket, groceries and so on, has something to do with the Chastanets. But that's so deceitful and deceptive because Richard Frederick knows, the St. Lucia Labour Party knows, just as I do, that the Chastanets do no longer have shares in that business. When they sold out their shares. Today, you have Massey with about 60%, you have the JQ family with a percentage, and you have the staff of Massey who also have shares. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that began from the time we had Super G, where the Chastanets encouraged the staff members to have shares, which I think was a good thing, and so they have shares in it. But the Chastanets do not have shares, so they have nothing to do with the prices at Massey. And so, again, Labour propaganda, it worked for them in the last 5 years, leading up to the last general election and contributed greatly to them becoming elected. But you see, what they have failed to understand is that the lies and the propaganda that got them into office will not sustain them, will not keep them in office. Because two things will happen. People have understood that they were fooled, they were duped, they were bluffed, and the opposition has understood that we do not sit idly by, listen to lies, and do not debunk it. So I am saying to St. Lucians categorically that that is a false statement, that is a misrepresentation of the truth. In other words, to put it simply, they are lying to you.
We have a call.
Chastnets don't.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello, okay, we have lost that call, so we'll try to get another caller. Once again at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let me see what's happening in terms of your comments in the chat room. But before that, we have our first call online. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello. Hello.
Mr. Poleon, good afternoon to you.
Hi.
And Mr. Montoud, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller. Quick comment or contribution?
I am calling from Nikot South constituency. That is the constituency of Alan Chastanet represented. Now, I will be at the match. Now, I'm not just going to be at the match because UWP call a match. I am going to be at that match because what I am seeing happening in this country is unaccepted. The behavior by the government, I will be matched today of 2.5%. I will be matched for a high rate of crime, which is getting out of control, which the government seems that they cannot control. I will be matched for a bad road. I will be matched for deliberately go and borrow $201 million on the old St. Jude and forget about the state-of-the-art hospital that could have cost less to be built, so we would have had a brand new hospital in the south. Okay? I will be matched for the price of gas that is so high, higher than anywhere else in the world. I will be matched for the cost of living, for inflation, for the speaker that think that he have lost his way and he is the bully of House Assembly, something that we have never seen in the history of St. Lucia, where a speaker can take over the House and do what he wants. And even up to now, there is a bill that he had to be paid. I don't know, it has to be taxpayers to be paid. We don't know whether that money has been paid. I will be matched against a lot of things that I have never seen happen. And St. Lucia, I am warning you all, this match is not just for the United Workers' Party. That is a match that will send a strong message. When you have, whether you have 16 or not, 17 not, you cannot be macho man in St. Lucia. St. Lucia is a democratic country. St. Lucia does not operate like Iran or Venezuela. That is why I'm going to be at that match to see that St. Lucia have a right, and every citizens of this country are buying under that democratic system that St. Lucia have since we gained independence in 1979. I thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a WhatsApp message. Doesn't have anything to do with what we're discussing, but it's worth reading. Somebody says, I'm a regular listener to NewsSpin. However, my head is spinning because of a faulty cooker I purchased earlier at this popular establishment. Imagine I have to be shaking my gas cylinder, which I just purchased last week, in order for the stove to light. If I have two burners on and I light an additional one, I'm in problems because everything is getting so slow. Right now, I'm trying to prepare my lunch and it keeps going off. I'm really frustrated. Consumer Affairs should really look into those things. Thanks for reading my comments. All right, let's see if we have some more of your comments as we await your calls. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see if I have a WhatsApp message. And this WhatsApp message reads, in 2021, the government was elected to improve the quality of life in St. Lucia. However, the Prime Minister seems fixated on attacking the leader of the opposition and dwells on the actions of the former administration. When will the Prime Minister focus on putting measures in place to address the current situation and prepare the country for the future? St. Lucia is faced with a myriad of issues which requires urgent attention. The most pressing at the moment is the cost of living. With each passing day, more and more persons are moving well below the poverty line. We understand that prices have increased globally and each household needs to find ways to survive. However, at a governmental level, some policies required to provide relief to the people. Adding a 2.5% health and safety tax at this time has only worsened the cost of living situation. The Prime Minister refers to reports which confirm economic growth, but from my vantage point, these numbers do not reflect the reality. Statistics can be manipulated and figures used in calculations can be adjusted, as was the case with the unemployment figures. I urge the Prime Minister to seriously examine the real impact of the 2.5% health and security tax on the citizens of St. Lucia. We have a WhatsApp call. Let's see if we get this call on the air as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. Hello.
Good afternoon, team.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Montut.
Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I'm going to give you the reasons why I will be matching today. At least one or two. Timothy, I'm going to be matching because I listened to the Chamber of Commerce saying to the Prime Minister and the government of St. Lucia that the 2.5% VAT, the country is not ready for this as yet. And I sat there and I watched the Prime Minister brush that statement aside and put that 2.5% on the backs of the poor people that they warned him about. So I am going to stand up against that team. Don't tell me the chamber, the people that knows how the affairs of the country is running or should be run. They are calling on the Prime Minister and telling him that this is not the way to go. The country cannot take this on at this point. And he still went on and he put it on the backs of the poor persons. Timothy, I am going to match for that. And another recent thing that happened there, Timothy, I listened to the Prime Minister in the House of Assembly or wherever he was. He said he made a statement saying that the leader of the opposition should suspend the match because there will be 4 cruise ships on the harbor on the day. But how many cruise ships that we have today, Timothy?
I think we should have...
Where did he get that number from?
We were scheduled to have 3. I don't know if we still have... We'd have the 3 in the harbor, but we were scheduled to have 3, as far as I'm told.
I think is one they have there.
Okay.
So is that another big lie of the Prime Minister that he doesn't know what is taking place in the country? I am going to march against the lying tongue of the Prime Minister of St. Lucia. It's time that he stop lying to the people of St. Lucia and start working for the people of the country, especially the underprivileged people, Timothy, that he imposed the 2.5% VAT on. And he doesn't care. All he's doing, he doesn't care. The man is like, he's in opposition and he wants to make rally because he see the United Workers' Party go somewhere. He's there. The man should know now he is the Prime Minister and he needs to start working for the people and stop competing with the opposition. Have a blessed day, Tim. I'm going to march.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Let's see if we can get another call online as we say hello. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, Spider.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
I'm hoping that St. Lucians come out today for the condition of healthcare in St. Lucia. And second of all, for the GPH deal, which is unacceptable and giving our ports in St. Lucia. And as a St. Lucian living overseas and seeing this happening, I think it's a disservice to our St. Lucians. I thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Somebody calling from the diaspora.
Yeah. You know, Tim, talking about the GPH deal, that's what it is, a deal that they gave to a foreign company to take control of our 2 ports. I mean, your entry ports, apart from being great assets of your country, symbols of your sovereignty, I mean, they represent some of the bigger sources of revenue. Our seaport, for example, Castries and even Soufrière, my information is that both of those ports are operating at a profit, so to speak, generating quite a lot of money. Soufrière for the Soufrière Foundation and the Port Castries for Slasper. It is Slasper that has been operating that port for all of those years. You're going to take a port that is already generating revenue and put it in the hands of a foreign company, and the two ports go at a price of about $40 million. And within a year, in a few years, the company will make more than $40 million. Over the 40 years, they will be making billions. I mean, for at least 400 million, at least, almost half a billion. What is there in the thinking of the government that would lead them to make such a decision? I mean, and when you look at it, in the process, they have eroded Slasper because they have taken the top brass of Slasper and hired them as employees of GPH. Further evidence that Slasper itself could have handled the ports themselves.
Hold that point. We have Mr. Bermuda online. As we say, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
I heard the leader of the Bogus Gang zombie government saying to cancel the march because the free tourist boats is in the harbor. Why didn't he cancel the march in COVID, the COVID march that he had, that caused the lives of hundreds of people? Mr. Prime Minister, why didn't you cancel that march? When you lied to the people, you walked on the streets of Castries telling people that the great man Sir Alan Chastanet lied and showing a banner saying there's no COVID in St. Lucia when there was COVID all over the world. And hence, the people followed you. You led them down the valley of death. Yes, Mr. Prime Minister, you led them down the valley of death when you caused the lives of over 400 St. Lucians. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. And I just received information that we actually have 2 cruise ships in our ports right now. One is scheduled to leave at 4 this afternoon and the other at 6 o'clock this evening. We continue with our calls. We have another call online, again coming from the diaspora. As we say, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Good afternoon to you.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Montut, how are you doing?
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. I want to ask you a question because I find it's strange that based on our current situation in St. Lucia, for the government to be imposing such a tax, when you have bigger countries, and I'll give you an example, and if you can at least elaborate on that so people can understand, that would be great. Because I see in terms of when the bigger countries, when the people have the spending power, government and things are getting too expensive for the middle class, for the less fortunate, you tend to find government imposing such taxes so that they can take away your spending power. You understand? So the market can kind of cool down. And I'll use an example, like the housing market as an example. If the housing market is too hot, you find the prices of homes become very high, right? So in a country where the state of affairs is not as the other countries, why would the government be imposing those taxes? And based on the example I give you, what do you think that the government should be doing at this time?
All right. Thank you so much for calling, sir.
Okay, first and foremost, what they should not be doing is further exacerbating the problem by imposing new taxes. Secondly, review the current duties and taxes that exist to see where they can give St. Lucians some reprieve, put an ease on St. Lucians by them lowering those taxes to bring down the price of goods, especially for the poor people in this country. And if, for example, they figure it will be too much on the purse of government, what you can do is streamline it and put measures in place, especially targeted to the poor, the unemployed, and the vulnerable. So these are some simple measures that could be considered. And when the government say to you that there's nothing that they could do, that is a government that is inept. Okay, that is a government that does not have a clue. That is a government that is not even prepared to engage their brains, their minds, to your concerns and your suffering. And so it is not true that there's nothing that they could do. Okay, so I mean, well, maybe there's nothing that they could do, but there are things that can be done. Let me put it this way.
We have a WhatsApp message. I'll be marching today because of the disrespecting of women. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hi, Timothy. Good afternoon, Timothy, and good afternoon, Mr. Montoot.
Good afternoon.
All right. Yes, nice to have you on the show, and Mr. Montoot, you have done a very good job.
Thank you.
And especially the people in Labon are very thankful for the water. We suffered many years for water. Timothy, I want to answer. Last night, Angel Brett made a statement as to Alan Chastanet about the treatment of Janine Compton. And let me say categorically, it was Alan Chastanet who assisted Janine greatly in coming into Micoud.
Are you in a position to? Are you in a position to confirm this?
I'm from Micoud North. Okay. I am from Micoud North. All right, I am from Micoud North. In fact, we in Micoud fought Janine. Nobody knew Janine in Micoud. Let me just say, the career of John Compton actually was, and the bedrock and the foot soldiers of John Compton were Micoud people, both Micoud North and Micoud South. Now remember, Sir John represented Micoud South, was in Micoud South, and when he retired and gave up to Von Luis, and it was Marius Wilson running in Micoud North, representing Micoud North, and Asen Jim was in Micoud South. But when what's his name was not doing a good job as Prime Minister, all right, and Von Luis and the Micoud people decided that Sir John would should come back into the arena, all right? And he did come back, but he came back in Micoud North, all right? He came back in Micoud North because Asen James did not want to give back the seat. So Marius gave back the seat, gave Micoud North to Sir John to come back to run, all right? When Sir John died, okay, Janine came to Micoud. There was a big funeral in Micoud, and that was when Micoudians knew of Janine Compton. Janine Compton was never in the politics of Micoud. The foot soldiers of Sir John were all of the families that we can talk about in Micoud. All right, the Matelis, the Rosaries, the St. Catharines, all of these people, the Lee George people, all of these people that were the foot soldiers of Sir John. So when Angel Brett will come and say that they supported Janine, yes, because that was the first time Micoudians were paid to think, and a lot of money was spent of Janine thing. So Janine cannot say that Alan Chastanet cheated her or bad, because it was Alan Chastanet who actually supported and campaigned for Janine in Micoud North. All right? And Micoudians were not too happy about that. They were not too happy about that. All right? So right now, with all of the confusion, she should understand that her father would not have supported the GPS deal, giving away SLAFA and all of these things. Her father would not have supported that. Her father would not have supported that she is there letting the Labour Party use her, and when they did not even want to give her father a parking spot in the boulevard as a statesman, somebody who worked for this country from the time of adult suffrage and being the prime minister and all of these kinds of things and all of the nonsense and the affirmative action against UW people in the public service when Dr. Kenny Anthony came in. All right? So all of these things she should have understood. All right? So Angel Bread does not know anything about the politics of Miku. All right? And Miku people resented that. All right? Even resented the fact that Von Lewis was chosen over Louis George. All right? So a lot of the confusion that is going on and that has been going on, Janine Compton came in there on a chariot. All right? Timothy? So another point I want to talk about is the levy, security and health levy. We are not seeing where that money is going to in health because the health centers do not have any medication. The supplies in the hospitals and the equipment, all of these kinds of things. Is that levy or is that tax really going into health? Okay, I want to ask the Prime Minister that question. All right, so that kind of tax on people, neither security nor health is being, I don't see any improvement in any of these two areas because the supplies in the hospital, the supplies, or in other words, the resources for the police in the security of this nation is not forthcoming. So I think that is another spin. All right? So there are many things that you think, but let's Spider.
Okay.
I'd like to yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Let Spider, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. We are due for a break. You're watching NewsSpin on our NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube. And you're listening to the broadcast on Power 97.9 FM. We continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages in just a moment as we continue the discussion with my guest, the PRO of the opposition, UWP, Leonard Spider Montoute.
The United Workers' Party invites all right-minded St. Lucians to a protest march to say no to this criminal 2.5% tax on the poorest of the poor, to say no to the trampling of the democracy of St. Lucians, to say no to the bad roads and stoppage of critical infrastructure projects for cheap political gains, to say no to selling our seaports for a 40-year deal that only benefits the friends, family, and comrades of the Labour Party. Join us on Thursday, November 30th, as we march from the VG playing field to the William Peter Boulevard to just say no.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Introducing the new LuSelect Virtual Service Desk, where one click is your access to every service. From my account to streetlight reports, requests for payment arrangements to settle arrears, change of name and address. Easy online forms give you access from anywhere and at any time. Every service you need at your fingertips. Go to our website, luselect.com, and click on the Virtual Service Desk widget. LuSelect's Virtual Service Desk. Every solution at your fingertips.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Sign up for a large postpaid plan and get 2 Samsung Galaxy A4s for just $199, plus 2 entries into the Everyday Grand Giveaway. This Christmas is on us. Sign up in store or online today at discoverflow.co. Terms and conditions apply.
You asked for it, and it's back. The National Farmers and General Workers Credit Union Limited announces the return of its Merry Till February Christmas loan promotion. Get up to $30,000 with absolutely no deposit and up to 5 years to repay. It's Merry Till February with the Farmers Credit Union. Call 454-6710 in VA4 or 452-7277 in Castries to book an appointment with one of our loans officers today. Terms and conditions apply.
Get ready for the most delicious holiday season ever with KFC's 12 Days of Christmas. Starting November 18th to 19th December, spend just $30 or more at KFC and you could win fabulous prizes. Win an iPhone 15, a home entertainment system, a smartwatch, a VR headset, and household appliances. Plus, we're giving away a $1,500 grocery voucher and a $500 voucher for wine and spirits. The excitement continues from December 8th to December 19th with one incredible prize up for grabs every single day. Terms and conditions apply. This promotion is approved by the St. Lucia National Lottery. Don't miss out on your chance to win big this holiday season with KFC's 12 Days of Christmas. Promotion valid at all KFC locations and delivery. Visit kfcslu.com for full terms and conditions.
If you suffer with pain from fibromyalgia, lupus, sickle cell anemia, sciatica, or arthritis, likely to cause doctor specialists from overseas in St. Lucia will diagnose and treat patients who have been suffering long. Likely to cause specialists will treat the symptoms of stroke, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries with shoulders, elbows, knees, back, and neck pain, even plantar fasciitis being a pain of the past. Likely to cause specialists in St. Lucia EMG tests will measure the damage in neuromuscular disorders and diabetic neuropathy, because likely to cause doctor specialists provides proper diagnosis using the most effective treatment for you to live free of pain.
La Clinique Duco. Call 451-6559 or 721-9950. La Clinique Duco, located at number 17 High Street, Castries.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Hey! Your one-stop shop, lottery, VLTs, and bingo. Come for the games, stay for the food, drinks, and more. Celebrate with we feeling lucky. Blast with victory. Find me where they find nice, where we come to play within it. Blast your stress away, but know your limit. Just feel it, you're winning. We're having a blast, blast, blast. Yeah, we playing blast.
Must be 18 or over to play. Only from the St. Lucia National Lottery. Changing lives.
Continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message while we are waiting your call. Somebody says there, okay, that has nothing to do with what we're discussing right now. Okay, somebody says, okay, all right, we have lots of comments, but let me try to decipher them to see what I could go through with at this time. Okay, let's take a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. This is NewsSpin.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim.
Yes, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Spider.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I don't know if Kimani is around. Okay.
No, she's not.
Okay, all right. Ba kon ha mwen anglais mwen m'a vle finir le mwen son a just point partout en Kéol.
OK, moi apprécier ça.
OK. Est-ce que mwen yon raison that mwen pas a match because mwen infime mwen avec mwen pas a match. Vous comprenez? Mais là yon raison pour ça qui ça fait. Les mwen tan madame Josephine Kouye là et qui parlait about women. Is who feels it knows it. C'est moun qui a situation, c'est yo qui a senti pressure. Vous comprenez? Et là on ka parler et qu'on ka fait complet nous. Et moun ka tan nous et yo pas ka faire rien about li. I ka kouye pour nos match. Maintenant dou kon a si bagay pa wanje en plus ta qui ka venir la ka ni plus passer match. Vous comprenez? Because l'on pas ka tan ou kanyon l'autre manière pour ça faire ça qui est nécessaire pour faire. Vous comprenez? Est-ce que 2.5 clans yo mettez là en les nous là. Il ouais pour nous. Mais si on te kay servi à dans right science là, il te kay still ça bien couchant non bagay bon moi vous comprendre moins bien. Vous comprenez? Gouvernement ça toute manière pour ça prêter l'argent. Là ou calculer combien l'argent ou kay fait pour l'année là on amasse 2.5 là et pour dire c'est pour maladie kay aller. Vous comprenez? Pour tu a besoin moun ka mort, moun ka souffert pour lui mettre pour malade. Pour tout passer à point on loan si autant sérieux. À point on loan pour sauver moun because même si on aller là kay docteur, et docteur ba remède il diagnose et ou pas ni remède, il va faire pire science pour aller là docteur. Vous comprenez?
Oui.
Because sans remède là on est mort. Et les moun a qualité situation ça là, et là ni moun qui a pouvoir. Et quand nous ka hele atale ko pas ka faire rien, na dou là ni plus passer match pour venir. Vous comprenez ça mon bledo là, nous ka quitter là qu'on a pour l'air. Vous comprenez?
Merci.
Bonne journée.
OK, vous aussi. Ça on est pour dire pour ça Spider.
Moi apprécier monsieur a expliqué côté qui il passe lui même pas ça venir parce que il est infime, mais moi apprécier il prêter nous voir pour faire un appel pour tout le monde pour sortir parce qu'il y a une nécessité pour monde sortir avec match parce que aujourd'hui c'est un jour qui est bien important en l'histoire Saint-Lucie. C'est aujourd'hui qui a déterminé est-ce que Saint-Lucie est satisfait d'accord avec ça là et bien si il a dit un bagage pour faire gouvernement savent il pas d'accord il pas satisfait avec manière bagage aller et pour gouvernement même coûter avec pour en différentes directions.
And regardez si nous avons d'autres plea calls 452-2979, 452-2979, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let me see if I could go through some of your WhatsApp messages. Let's take that call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Ting.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Mr.
Good afternoon.
Right. Okay. One reason I go to Paul, I will go. I am blind. I cannot go too much, but I will support. Why I have to support is one, I go into Victoria Hospital. I was sick. I had that on the shoe. I had to tell Timothy that on the shoe. I go into the hospital. I was sick. There's no cover on the bed. And I asked them a bed sheet to cover. They didn't give me. They tell me they don't have. They tell me, Mom, when I walk in the hospital, when I sit, walk with my pillow and my bed sheet. My daughter have to take a hot coat on her and open on me. Right, number one. We sick. We are blind. I have the diabetes. I cannot live. Go and look for my medicine. I cannot get my medicine. That's two. Our food. They said to eat our healthy food. Our food too expensive. I am not working. I am doing some 2 or 3 surgeries in Matnik. And we elected a government to pay $75,000. And look at what happened. Nobody knows what happened. And I have that bill to pay, and I cannot work to say I pay the bill. I am not working. I cannot provide myself what I have to eat because I am not working. Our bills too high, our water too high, our grocery jack up, the road, oh my goodness, worse. And when trouble was there, this thing not happen. Okay, if it will missing nothing, whatever, not too much like that. And you see, that government that is on there, everything got everything complain. Imagine that country not going. How people call Timothy and set up this, because things not nice. How people can feed themselves. Road marked up, there's no hospital, no medical service, our grocery going up, you know. And when are people blind? You cannot work and you want this thing. How you can survive? How you can eat? People are dying, shooting. Oh my goodness. People breaking people's house. People going in the garden. So we call police. Nobody not answer. Nobody not come. Oh my goodness. People not going at all in the country. That's why I'm going. I cannot work as I say, I have a bad leg, but I will go in my daughter.
Okay, come.
I will suffer. That's why I will suffer that, because I don't like the country not going up for us. That's why I'm going.
Okay,
they
come.
are very bad. Missing flour, missing rice, missing sugar, all this kind of thing. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Okay, ma'am. You too. Thank you so much.
You see, Tim, I want to make an appeal to all able-bodied St. Lucians to ensure that you come out, because here are some St. Lucians who are saying to you there are reasons why they would have loved to, but they cannot. You, apart from your own purposes, must match for those people. We must make a statement on their behalf, because they would have liked to have been there, but they cannot make it because of physical limitations. But we, able-bodied St. Lucians, who are concerned about our country and who are concerned about the plight of those people, must come out this afternoon and take a stand, not just for ourselves, but on their behalf as well.
After the match, what happens? Because, you know, opposition parties, they march, they get into office, and then what? They get very comfortable. They start to disappoint the same people that they are marching for or with.
Well, Tim, let me just say something to you. Quite apart from the fact that we're hoping that the government will take heed and change their direction and, you know, make amends for some of the negatives that we have experienced so far, there are far-reaching implications of today's match. Because when St. Lucians come out in their numbers, like I hope they will this afternoon, and make a statement to the government, when the opposition becomes the government, they will have to remember that if they too fool around, that St. Lucians will take a stand as well. So I think it benefits the country all around.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Tim, we are people who seem a lot more interested in what they call oral history other than recorded history. And I suspect the reason for that preference for oral history is because we just have something against reading. You know, we refuse to read. Now, I just want to address your guest. Leonard.
Yes, Rick.
John Compton, Sir John, died in 2007.
That's correct.
Right?
Yes, that's correct.
I just want to get a little bit of history here. And it's well covered, so I'm so surprised there's so much halikashi over it. And I think it's important history. He died in 2007. There was a by-election that year. Am I correct in that?
That's correct.
I don't have anybody mentioning that. And all that stuff about Janine and whatnot happened at the by-election. Am I right?
That's correct.
Good. Wasn't that another gentleman that the United Workers' Party had already fingered to run for the seat?
Yes, I'm trying to remember the name.
Pardon me?
I'm just trying to remember the name now. The gentleman was an economist.
George something?
George, yes. Yeah, he was an economist, I remember. Yes.
Right. And do you recall all the halikazi involved in getting this guy to give up the seat to newcomers, and then nobody expected Janine to run because the United Workers' Party under King,
that's correct,
had already chosen a candidate.
That's right.
And you remember everything that went on. In fact, Tim should know about it too, because the guy appeared on Talk,
and there
was a lot of coverage. Eh?
I interviewed him on several occasions on NewsSpin.
George Daniel.
Yeah, but that's what I don't understand. There was a lot of coverage from relating to Sir John's passing, and immediately afterwards. But St. Lucians are throwing all kinds of maple at one another about who Janine this, who didn't like Janine, when the history is there. I am not getting involved in that. I just want to talk about the history for a second, Tim. How long after coming to the House as a UWP member, and remember she fought very hard to get on the team of Stephenson King and whatever. Remember too that shortly before that there were statements made about King in particular by Mrs. Compton. Remember that? The funeral?
Correct. Yeah. And he was, as the sitting Prime Minister, Sir John's successor, he was not even allowed to participate in the funeral.
Exactly. So why do I have to jog the memory of you guys? We have had serious animosity with the Comptons and the United Workers' Party from beginning to shortly before Sir John died, and it never stopped. It never stopped. So I don't know why.
Rick, let me ask you, Rick. Let me ask you, Rick. Why do you think that was the case? The bad blood between the Comptons and the UWP soon after the death of Sir John Compton.
Montoute knows very well because Janine did not like, despite the fact that I have to say, Richard is getting blows on what he said. What you've been hearing so far is not quite correct, but Richard did play a role in at least late in that whole Janine election. Also said against Richard Frederick. I have the photographs in my paper on the record of Janice Compton dancing with Richard Frederick on platform, which shocked everybody, considering what she had said a short time earlier. Am I right or not on that one too?
You're absolutely correct.
What a history! So Tim, to answer your question, the answer might be this. For the same reason, she got a letter from Stephenson King to go to dig up dirt on
at the embassy. Yeah.
Go and help me out, Montoute.
Yeah, to go to Barbados to the U.S. embassy to get information on Richard Frederick. And the first person to break the news about Richard Frederick's visa, at least as far as I know, was Janine Compton.
So, I don't want to get involved in the harassment of petty politics. I am into the history of this. And I've been amazed from last night when you asked the leader of the opposition his position on Janine and the Comptons or whatever. And he made it a very personal thing. He didn't want to talk about it, which I understand him. But he also has to remember those very personal things have serious impact on the politics of the country.
But Rick, if I can come in here and just say something to Timothy Poleon, who once said to me that how come we allowed Stephenson King to dupe us? We were not the first duped by Stephenson King. I just want him to know the Comptons were also duped by Stephenson King.
But the point is, the whole very nasty story involving even the church and a funeral. It's a long story.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting story that the children of St. Lucia should be taught in the schools, but we don't like to get local history books into the schools. And the politicians, because usually they're involved, and I again repeat, usually in a negative way, they keep the books away from the schools. So our young people are totally ignorant of their history. They have no idea. They are at the mercy of politicians who come on platforms and talk nonsense, who was there and who was not there, and all that kind. When the history is there, and it was being written as it was happening, Tim, as it was happening. That's a very interesting story, how Janine Compton got into the United Workers' Party, and why she left soon afterward, and all the shenanigans that went on in between. That is recorded history, and I really wish the politicians would avail themselves of these facts so that they can talk about it when they come on your show and so on and so on. That's all I have to say.
Okay, Rick, thank you so much. What's the Spider?
Well, talking about history, we must make history today by coming out and letting it be clear to the government that we are unhappy about a number of factors that are taking place in St. Lucia. First on my list, personally, is the high cost of living. We cannot have inflation so high in St. Lucia, and rather than to ease the burden on St. Lucians, to give us some kind of reprieve, that the government would further exacerbate the problem of high costs by adding a 2.5% levy on top of what is already there to make things worse for St. Lucians. And instead of looking at reducing duties or taxes on goods as they enter St. Lucia, you're making the prices higher. I think that's unconscionable. The bad roads.
Well, at point we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, caller.
It's my first time calling.
Thank you so much for calling. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from the US.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been an avid listener of your show. And may I say candidly that sometimes I do not share the same point of view with you, but
that's okay.
Your show has been a forum of great resource. I think it is educational and provides a platform for intellectual discourse as it is a relay between St. Lucia and the rest of the world. It keeps us politically and socially informed. I must say I have great admiration for Mr. Monchut. Can you hear me? Because I'm hearing some noise in the background.
We can hear you, caller.
To you, Poleon, I really admire you as well. I've lived in St. Lucia all my life, and I am really impressed by the position you've held over the years in St. Lucia. Mr. Monchut, I have great admiration for you as well.
Thank you, sir.
Your tenacity, the service you provided to St. Lucia, and I wish you success in your continued efforts to improve the well-being of St. Lucia.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Monchut, I think you know who I am. I'm not going to say my name, but I used to be athlete rivalry to you, to one of your best athletes. I was his rivalry.
Okay.
In the sprints.
So what's your name? You might as well say your name. What's your name, caller?
I was.
Are you from Denver?
You know, No. I was from Castries on the legend team.
Oh, okay.
On the legend team. You know who I am?
I'm not sure.
Just reveal your identity,
I'll
caller.
eventually figure it out.
What's your name?
I am Cherry.
Oh, okay. All right. Yes.
Yeah, I'm very much impressed with you, Mr. Monchut. You know, your service to your country and the trajectory you want the country to take in. I wish you the success, and I pray that you and your party bring this country in a different direction. I am pretty dissatisfied with what's going on, and as an expert, I just hope that you could make it better for me and for my children in years to come.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
Good day.
All right. Let's take another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, Spider.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
I'm just calling to say that I am going to be on the march. I am not just marching for myself. I am marching for the people of the South. I'm marching because of the lost jobs that will take effect because of the GPH deal that we still haven't heard from our government as to what the secret deal is. Was very appalling to hear about that secret deal on that secret date. I want to know about it. I'm marching for this. I am marching because of the denigration of women in this country by ministers in power in this country. I am marching for the farmers, the Black Bay farmers who have been dispossessed, who've had their infrastructure damaged and with no relocation, no consultation on where the relocation is going to be. I am marching for a plethora of issues. I'm marching because of the racism that has been introduced into our country. I am marching because of the 2.5% tax that has been imposed upon us. And I am marching because of the gall of our Prime Minister for taking our silence as acquiescence. You know, I am marching for all of those reasons. It is appalling that our Prime Minister would say that St. Lucians have accepted the 2.5% because they have not said anything. Silence, Mr. Prime Minister, is not acquiescence. And we are not all red, but we are all have the right to affiliate with whichever political party that we want. So this march is not just for Flubos, it is for all St. Lucians. It is for our rights, our democratic rights, which are being impinged upon. It is for those of us who have children born abroad, who are, for all intents and purposes, St. Lucians covered by the constitution of this land. I am marching for all of those reasons. And for those persons who are listening, you too should be marching, because today they come for Flubbo, tomorrow they will come for you. And if you do not stand for what is right and you do not stand for something, when they come for you, there will be nobody at your right, at your left, at your back. You will be alone. So stand up now. Enough is enough. Let's go up to VG playing field and march for all of those reasons and more. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Well said, Connor.
I have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, when Rick does not call NewsSpin, some of us leave empty and a bit sad. Thanks, Rick. Your file always big so. 452-2979 WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
I'm going to the match for many reasons. The gas prices. We're talking about they're not giving the agriculture farmers the needs to put more food there to feed them. Tim, I'm talking about the pot that the government not coming and tell us what deal that went there, Tim. Tim, there's 2 handfuls of things I want to say, but time is very short. I think you should extend it to 10 minutes just because of today is the match for every single citizen to go out there and match, because the government is taking advantage on us, Tim. Tim, and I heard this lady Nikud, and she was very right. And let me give you one of the reasons why she's right. Alan Chastanet at the time was on the campaign ground, taking people and bringing them to the phone on the playing this. I was also very, very involved in that by going and take people out. When it was around 4:30, I made a joke with Alan and telling him, Alan, there's 2 people I want you to go up before and take them to bring them back. You think you could do that in quick time? Alan didn't hesitate. He said, sure, why not? You know, I just made a joke with him. Tim, when it was around 5:30, we were having a chat. Do you remember the outrage of the police officer that perished? I think his name was Mr. Romeo. The 3 of us were talking. Tim, about half an hour again, they called and said there's a motorcyclist, you know, that gets struck by a motor vehicle. Then Alan came back to me and told me after the very same partner we were talking to. He's the one, you know, that gets struck, but he's at the hospital. Then Alan came back and he told me, do you know the guy passed away? Nothing much for Alan to do, and Alan really helped John in some terms. But I first understand when Brett come in and make all them kind of comments. Well, we'll always get that across the board. Because right now, to defend the St. Lucia Labour Party, money is flowing all over the country. As we speak about the match, they're trying to prevent people from going to the match. But the truth to the matter is, the gas prices is too high. Where crude oil and the world market is about 74 to 75 dollars per barrel. It's not going on in St. Lucia, but it's going on throughout the Caribbean and Europe and North America. Tim, I am marching for the high inflation, Tim. Tim, let me tell you, and I am also marching because the Prime Minister, Tim, standing there had the thing there. And everybody, even the poor people, singing the anthem. Everybody vote for Labour. But I look at everybody voting for poverty. That's how I look at it, for slavery. And that's how I see it in Friday. Okay. For a number of things.
Okay, caller. Okay, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Let's see if we can get at least 2 more calls and then the final word from Mr. Leonard Spider Montut. Let me see if we have any of your WhatsApp messages to go through. We have a call. Let's take the call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Quick contribution, caller.
Timothy, PW on the line, Timothy. Timothy, today I am going to march for the minimum wage or the affordable wage that the government has promised us, and I've never heard anything about it, and the year is coming to an end. I would like Mr. Montut to know that when the next time he is elected, to come in and first thing to implement is an affordable wage and or a minimum wage for the citizens of this country. Timothy, this is what I'm going to march for today. No longer people will work for $2 an hour in the most important industry in St. Lucia, the tourism industry. Timothy, I thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's get another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, Mr. Montut.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Timothy, the problem I have with that deal, that 40 million US deal, the problem I have with that is this can only pay civil government for 2 months. Because this was the government $100 million earned.
Okay, we have a problem with the quality of the call. So my apologies to you, sir. We can't continue with your contribution because the quality is definitely not good. We'll take a final call, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Once again, that is 716-2026 or 452-2979. And then we'll get a final comment from my guest, Mr. Leonard Spider Montut. Our NewsSpin news of the day. London's Guardian newspaper reports that Haiti's gang wars are having cataclysmic impact on access to food staples. London's Guardian newspaper reports that Haiti's gang wars are having cataclysmic impact on access to food staples. We are awaiting one final call on the broadcast at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Okay, let's take this call via WhatsApp. Hello, you are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, Tim. Good day, Mr. Montut.
Good afternoon,
yes,
sir.
Good afternoon.
Tim.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Tim, Mr. Montut. Mr. Montut, when is the election? We need a by-election. We need that thing to finish and done with because we need something to change. We need a change.
Well, elections
and
are
you
due.
have to come with them simple tactics.
Elections are due in 2026, caller.
Tim, there's things called by-election, you know.
But you cannot force a by-election, sir.
No, but you're not forcing it, you're making it happen, Tim.
How are you making it happen?
You see the way things going?
How are you making it happen, caller?
You see how the way things going? All we have to do is shut down the country, Tim. We're not in support of the government. We shut down the country, we're not in support of the government. They have to turn their back, Tim. We shut down the country and then that's all we have to do. Nothing not moving in the country. We don't like the government. We don't want them.
After 2.5 years?
Tim, 2.5 years, them man targeting one person and nothing in the country, Tim, for 2.5 years. But leave the man alone and perform on the duties of the country. Yeah.
That's it, caller?
You're targeting the one man and to make it even worse. To make it even worse. The bad man in the party is just putting all kind of old tags on the man and then Lucian just riding with it. Chastanet is better off than that man by far, you know. And I don't know why them cruise ships still coming to St. Lucia, because y'all don't want Chastanet, y'all don't want white people. It's white people we're not supporting. Them cruise ships need to stop coming St. Lucia, and America should try and revoke all visas from Lucians. Yeah, that is the kind of situation Labour Party does put St. Lucians in. Put us in endless mess, and then they turn in their back on us. Team, have a good day.
You too, sir.
You too.
Thank you so much for calling. Final comments from you, Mr. Leonard Spider-Motut.
Yes, Tim. I want to make a call to all patriotic St. Lucians who are concerned about the future of their country, the future of their children, who are concerned about the quality of life that exists in this country, who are concerned about democracy in this country as we know it, to come out today and take a stand, let your voice be heard, and let the government know that what is going on is unacceptable and that enough is enough, and that you are coming out this afternoon to make a statement to save our St. Lucia. It's an SOS that is going out to the government to save our St. Lucia, reconsider their direction, reconsider some of their policies, reconsider their behavior, and to ensure that we in St. Lucia get better representation and that we have better governance. We are marching for a number of reasons, and I've heard quite a few of the reasons that the callers have listed. I just saw a message from a caller which says that I'm marching because SLP put an inspection fee on used vehicles and it's costing me an additional almost $2,000 to import a used car. There are many of us, if not most of us, are going to be marching for the high cost of living that our government is saying to us that they can do nothing about. The Prime Minister, no less, is throwing his hands up in the air at every turn saying he can do nothing about the cost of living, he can do nothing about the crime situation. Yet still, he's going to impose on us a 2.5% levy to make the cost of living higher than it already is. And he's saying that it is for your safety and healthcare, whereas he has not issued a plan, presented a plan to St. Lucia as to what exactly it is he's doing about our safety and our healthcare. We see the decision that has been taken to ignore the state-of-the-art hospital, the new hospital, simply because it was Alan Chastanet's administration to build it, and they're going to spend more money on an old hospital that is not designed to be a hospital in the first place, and give St. Lucia something that is substandard. We are marching because of the bad roads, and let us not forget our government is collecting $1.50 on every gallon of gas that you purchase. So we want to see that $1.50 put to use, to put to work for our benefit, so that we can save on car parts, save on time, save on our comfort, and save on the value of your properties, because bad roads do devaluate your property. GPH, that is egregious, that is unconscionable to take our two ports, the two ports that generate the most revenue, and hand it over to a foreign company for 40 years, okay, and in the process destroying what we knew as SLASPA, eroding that. And that is a form of sacrificing or surrendering our sovereignty to a foreign company. That is unacceptable. And we must, and the worst part about it is we are not even being told exactly what is contained in that deal. We are being told that it is a secret and that we are not entitled to know. We are marching because the government has no healthcare plan. We are marching because of the corruption that we see in government. I mean, what Richard Frederick has done with the Banans lands, what we see with Ernest Hille and the Rover Gate, the decisions that have been taken in government that are suspect. We are marching against this. We are marching against the high-handedness of our government, where they feel that they are above reproach, they are above criticism, they are above scrutiny. And if you dare to question, criticize, or complain that they will attack you personally, we are marching against that. We are marching against the government minister attacking women in St. Lucia and abusing individuals in St. Lucia on a weekly basis on a talk show. We are marching against the high crime situation where we have found ourselves in St. Lucia, where criminals actually put St. Lucians under curfew on one occasion, and the death rate, the murder rate, what the Prime Minister calls homicides, continue to rise to the extent that we are going to have a record number again this year. We are marching against the Prime Minister's ineptitude, where that at every turn, when the media people who are speaking on our behalf and trying to get information on our behalf are being told that either it is not their business, or he outright claiming that he does not know, or that there is nothing he can do. I'm also marching about the buffoonery of the Prime Minister, where he comes across as some idiot who does not understand what his job is and embarrasses us and renders St. Lucia as a country of ridicule outside of St. Lucia. We are marching against the gas prices, despite the fact that the prices of gas keeps going down. We are seeing sustained high prices to the extent that at one point it was $17.95 for a gallon of gas. Even during COVID, the United Workers' Party administration kept the price of gas at 13-something. It is unconscionable that the government allowed the price of bread to almost double because they refused to subsidize flour. A mere $4 or $5 million would have prevented poor people from having their bread cut in half, because that's what actually happened. A bread went from 25 cents to 45 cents. If you care about poor people, if you care about the plight of people in this country, you would not allow that to happen, especially when you're generating more revenue than you even projected. And you cannot sacrifice $4 or $5 million to ease the plight of poor people. We are marching because of those subsidies. We are marching because of the GPH. We are marching because of the 2.5. We are marching because of cost of living. We are also marching because we are seeing an erosion of democracy in St. Lucia. They have hijacked the media. We have seen what they have done. I spoke of it earlier. We have seen where the government attacks people, individuals, and prevents them from talking and intimidates them. We are marching against victimization, and we are marching about the obscenity that we see coming, that passes as government ministers' behavior. So at the end of the day, the lies, the blatant lies that we are being told, and of course, when St. Lucians complain or raise issue, you have Stevenson King, you have Richard Frederick, you have Philip Pierre, you have Emma Hippolyte, who take people to task and literally abuses them. Either they tell you just don't go there, kill it. That is Emma Hippolyte. Richard Frederick, of course, will go to town on you and go into your sex life and all of those things. You have Stevenson King, who will tell the bus drivers that they are abusing young women when he is told about the condition of the road. I mean, that cannot pass as government in a democracy. It is unacceptable the way they have reduced our quality of life. It is unacceptable the way they seem to think that in their high-handedness they have free rein. We as St. Lucians must take a stand today. Stand for our country. This is not about politics. It's about our future, and it's about our quality of life. And I ask those of you who cannot be there to follow what is going on, and I appreciated the fact that some of you cannot be there, but you called in to let your voices be heard and to add to the appeal to those who are able-bodied to be there. Those of us who are able-bodied have to come out. We have to come out for ourselves, for our future, for our children, for our country, for those who cannot make it. And also, I want to make a special appeal that we come out to show St. Lucians in the diaspora the way they are taking interest in our country and the contribution that they are making to us who are in this country, that we too care and we are taking a stand.
Mr. Leonard Spider-Matut, PRO of the opposition, UWP, thank you so much for being my guest on this afternoon's NewsSpin program. To you, thank you so much for watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. My name is Timothy Poleon. Please join me same time tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, for another broadcast. Goodbye.